Quick recap. In the previous chapter we see that Will has been selected to advance to Tower. The chapter opens with the moment this entire series is built on, a quiet, personal scene between Will Surfett and Elfaria. When they were just 5 years old, they looked up at the sky and made a promise, to climb the Mercedes Corliss, the tower, together as Magiavunda, and watch the real sunset from the very top. That's it. And now after 5 years they can fulfill their dream. After this we see everyone visiting the tailor shop to get fitted for their new tower uniforms. Here store owner Bnaunta Lesseru welcomes them and say, "Learning, sensitivity, and wisdom are the three teaching of Rigarden Magic Academy and those who follow THWM wear this as proof of being a high mage." Julius, the proud noble ice mage, is absolutely making sure every detail is impeccable. Lehanna, composed and sharp as ever, is probably already thinking about how the uniform works in combat. Sion is Sion, there's an edge to him even in a tailor shop. And then there's Colette, who is having the absolute time of her life. And Will just wants to make sure he can still properly draw his sword in it. Will takes his sword to a dwarf blacksmith to have it restored. When the Donnan the blacksmith presents Will with a new sword, it doesn't feel like charity. It feels earned. After seeing his sword, there is a big smile of his face. After seeing it for a while, Will recognizes that there is few changes in sword. Therefore, Donnan explains the change that it can cut the magic like before and the magic power stored in the center can also be amplified. And he names the sword Wist Twin Silver. After it, Donnan mentioned the previous sword which was broken during the fight against the Moster as his best work, but now he has outdone himself for the sake of Will. After it, Will apologize and ask how much for the sword, in which Donnan replied that he don't want his money and tell him take it as thanks for saving them. He then congrats Will for being selected and to go wild in the tower. Frame swiftly changes to the place where everyone was waiting for him and he runs to them and thanks them for waiting. After this they walk towards the tower where Claire was waiting for them and take them directly through a door and welcomes them to Paradise of Research. While climbing the stairs, Will remembers Rosti and says, "I wouldn't have made it this far without you, and lastly here I come Elfie." After they enter the room, everyone realizes it's dark and there is nothing around. Claire takes here wand and enchants, and after this roof starts to open and the base where everyone was stand starts to float. Suddenly they reach to a new place where everyone become excited after seeing floating castles and light of horizons. Claire started to explain that this floor is called Colorless Garden, and when people outside the tower refers to upper college they usually means this floor. It's a livelihood and production-based tart supports the tower from the bottom to top. It's also the highest academic institution for the research and development of new spells. Only those who have been acknowledged by the Magic Academy have access to this glorious realm. And whether or not you live here permanently depends entirely on you. Ater this she says that let's go, you're the main guest of the day and everyone is waiting for you in the central ceremony hall. While Claire was explaining the floor, Liana was exploring the skies and Igna mentions that it's definitely the elves' magic and frighteningly advanced too, which they have used to create a vision of paradise inside the tower. Colette looks other people wearing the same dress other than them and then she explores more things like vegetable garden of Moriu and experimental grounds for magical creature. She realizes that she have finally became high mage and felt like a dream for her and Will. Suddenly Sion says don't get carried away failure, the tower isn't bright and cheery place you think it is. Finally all 50 students advance to the main building and Claire says come on go in, and some students felt that it is the ceremony hall. Suddenly someone come who is known as Kreutz Harlan, head of the upper college. Rose says Earth, Wind and Dark are those mags from all factions, and Colette felt a little bit scary as everyone was looking at them. After this we see Magiavunda are also here. Win'll look at Eleanor and will find Elfie, but both of them looks away. Claire returns on the screen where she welcomes every Magiavunda for coming from the top of the tower, and while she was speaking introducing Magiavunda, Instia Valham interrupts her by saying that this is a customary chore and we should skip this. So without wasting time Claire says let's start the blooming festival right away. Will got surprised as this was his first time listening this festival. She further explains the chosen children who were headhunted throughout the academy years or during the grand festival of magic will be bestowed the blessing of color. As she speak a lot of students to started to receive the blessing. Their glorias changed into faction color and emblems appeared on their brooches. From the main group we can see Sion gets into flame faction, Colette into earth faction, Liana into lighting faction and Wignall into fairy faction. Meanwhile, as we move forward we can see few people didn't got chosen and who were Will and Julius. They looked super surprised. If this breakdown helped you, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your reactions in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.